Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Kemal AA and this is your preview for the Manchester City versus Chelsea game tomorrow evening at 5:30 PM kickoff at the Etihad. And listen, the big games keep coming thick and fast. There's no time to rest, there's no time to celebrate. We're still jubilated, happy, we're ecstatic after the historic and famous victory over Real Madrid Wednesday evening to put us into the Champions League final, which by the way is looking highly likely it won't be played in Istanbul due to COVID protocols and regulations, but I'll be making a separate video for that possibly tomorrow or the day after. But the games are coming thick and fast. Every 2-3 days we haven't got time to recover, we haven't got time to rest. We've got a tough end to the season. After Man City, we've still got the Premier League, we're still competing on three fronts. We're in an FA Cup final, we're in a Champions League final. This team has come a long way and I'm so proud of the team. I'm so proud of Thomas Tuchel especially. But we have a big game and we have to win this game. Yes, I would say that a draw would be a good result, but we are only 3 points clear in the top four. It's also crucial that we get the top four because of course Champions League qualification is not guaranteed. We could easily come fifth and lose the Champions League final and therefore we won't be qualified for next season's Champions League. So it's very, very important and crucial that we get the 3 points. Although, like I said, a point could be good depending on the results around us, depending on Leicester City's result, depending on how West Ham get on, because West Ham are currently 3 points behind us and Leicester are only 2 points ahead of us. So we need to keep the momentum, we need to keep the positivity and the positive vibe, the structure that we have defensively going forward, the fluidity in our attack as well. Things are rosy, things are going really well at Chelsea, but of course this weekend is going to be another tough affair. Thomas Tuchel against Pep Guardiola is going to be a chess game, very, very tactical, both tactically astute managers. It's going to be a tough battle. You're not going to see a high scoreline. For me, this game, I think, has got a 0-0 written all over it. Both teams are going to be relatively conservative because we know the firepower that each team has. We have the best two squads in the Premier League, full stop. We are the two teams that are in the Champions League final. So currently, technically, we are the two best teams in Europe right now. So we know each other's strengths and priorities, etc. And this is essentially the Champions League rehearsal. This is like a practice, a bit of a warm-up for what's to come in the Champions League final, which of course I'm looking forward to. And you'll definitely be seeing me do a watch-along for that because it's the biggest game in 9 years. So of course I'm going to be doing that. But in regards to tomorrow evening, one thing I must say is we have to avoid defeat. We have to avoid defeat because if we lose and West Ham win, they're level on points with us. And then we're heading into 3 games. We've got Arsenal, we've got Leicester, we've got Villa. We've got some tough games coming up. So for me, minimum, we need to be getting a draw out of this game. It's going to be difficult, but it's definitely possible. Listen, we just beat Real Madrid. And didn't we just beat Real Madrid? We absolutely battered them. The most historic, the biggest club in Europe. So listen, I'm still on cloud 9. I'm sure that many Chelsea fans are. But tomorrow we need to get at least a point. Now let's delve into Thomas Tuchel's press conference because he has some interesting things to say. He started off saying that Thursday morning was a very nice morning after Chelsea squad arrived happy after the big win against Real Madrid. Thomas Tuchel says Chelsea will play the Champions League final wherever they are told to play. He won't get involved in any discussions as he has enough to prepare for the upcoming matches. Thomas Tuchel says Man City have the upper hand with 1 more day to recover and being at home. He saw that with the FA Cup semi-final when Chelsea had the advantage. Thomas Tuchel says the Champions League final will be a unique event regardless of the result tomorrow. He says the challenge is to get the tiredness out of the brains and the body to be in a good shape for tomorrow. He says it's satisfying on a personal level to reach the Champions League final again, but not because of being sacked by PSG in December. He says Mason Mount and Phil Foden are the outstanding examples of how good young players from England too can be. He says Mason Mount is outstanding and is the full package. England can be happy to have a player like him. It's amazing to have a player like Mason Mount who doesn't feel the pressure. He says Pep Guardiola turns teams into winning machines and Man City is essentially the benchmark and we have to close the gap. He says Chelsea will only try to win the FA Cup and Champions League as well as finishing in the top 4. He will stay with his feet on the ground. Nothing is won yet. This club is for winning finals, not just achieving finals. Thomas Tuchel says Chelsea want to earn results. They've done that so far, but the challenge is to continue doing that. He says he again has not decided the Chelsea team, taking travelling into account, so fresh legs and fresh minds will be needed against Man City. Thomas Tuchel says there's a high possibility that he will be making changes against Man City, and you'll be seeing that in my predicted lineup in a moment. And he says he cannot wait to welcome the Chelsea fans back to Stamford Bridge. It has made him so sad with no fans being in attendance, and he's happy for the fans after the Madrid win. He said Chelsea will be fully focused and determined to get the best possible result tomorrow. And in terms of injury news, our squad is fully fit apart from one player, and that is Matej Kovacic. He was ruled out for the Madrid game, and unfortunately, he's unavailable for selection in tomorrow's game. And it's massively disappointing because Jorginho and Kante extremely fatigued. They've had a significant partnership. They've been superb together and sublime, but they've been playing 90 minutes week in, week out, every 3 days, and they're tough games, not only physically but mentally. So, we're playing another game that's mental gymnastics, and we needed that rotation there. And Cover being out is not going to help us, but fingers crossed, hopefully he will be back for the Arsenal game next weekend. So again, it's a massive loss, but that is the only injured player for us. The rest of the squad is, of course, injury free. And that is essentially summarising Thomas Tuchel's press conference. Now, if you haven't seen it, there was a video circulating around Twitter, especially around social media. After we beat Real Madrid and the fans were outside waiting at night time, Thomas Tuchel came out of his car and he was in his passenger seat. And he came out and he's given a fist pump and he was celebrating. Chelsea fans are going mad, and it's good to see. It puts a smile on my face because I rate Thomas Tuchel highly. I love Thomas Tuchel, and with the Frank Lampard saga, fans being bitter, it's good to know that they are fully supportive of Thomas Tuchel, because we need that. We need to put this past. He's our legend. We love him as a player. It didn't work out as a manager, but now it's time to move on because Lampard has moved on. Move on for us as well. We've got a world-class manager at our club. And essentially, that is wrapping up Thomas Tuchel's press conference. For me, very interesting press conference. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, based off of that press conference, let's have a look at my predicted lineup. Of course, Kovacic being injured, so he's not going to be in a predicted lineup. And also, he did hint at some rotation. Now, we know the formation. It's going to be a 3-4-2-1. Eduard Mendy in goal. He is our Premier League goalkeeper. I've gone for Kurt Zouma, Andres Christensen, Azpilicueta. Now, I've given Thiago Silva a rest because he has been playing in 90 minutes full stop recently. He played 90 minutes against Real Madrid. He played 90 minutes against Fulham as well. So for me, it's crucial that, of course, he does get some rest because he's been playing a lot recently. His age of 36, you have to be very careful. So for me, it's crucial and important that Thiago Silva gets that sufficient rest. And I think that we need him. Of course, we've got some tough fixtures coming up, so rest for him. And we've got enough centre-backs to cover. Christensen in a central centre-back position. Kurt Zouma, of course, he hasn't had much game time recently at the left centre-back position. And Captain Azpilicueta at the right centre-back position, giving Rudiger a rest as well. We had a mask on against Real Madrid, and also he's been playing a lot recently. Reece James, he didn't start against Real Madrid, so he's fully ready, and essentially he isn't fatigued. He's got the full match fitness. Ben Chilwell, left wing back. You could argue Alonso, but tactically Ben Chilwell, he has the engine, he has the pace to bomb up and down, he has the defensive positioning and defensive awareness, and he's got that threat going forward in the final third. Alonso for me is too much of a defensive liability. Against a strong Man City team, we're going to get torn apart if he plays, so I'm worried about that, so Chilwell goes in there for me. Jorginho Kante, you could argue tactically, but mainly because we haven't got anyone else. It's one position, in my opinion, we need to sign. We need to sign a midfielder for depth, but it's also sufficient and quality enough to slot into the first team. Kovacic is injured, so who else are you going to play? What, Gilmour? Too much of it is too much of a risk. So Jorginho and Kante in a pivot. You got the athleticism from Kante, you got the dictating the game from Jorginho. And what a player, man! Put some respect on Jorginho's name. I've been saying it for so long. Christian Pulisic, he didn't start against Real Madrid. You saw the impact that he had. Our number 10, Captain America, goes at left cam position. Again, his agility, close control, operation in between lines, his chance creation. For me, he's our best player in terms of technical ability in the final third. Hakim Ziyech, he hasn't had much game time recently. Again, he's fully fresh. We need some rotation in the squad. Havertz pretty much started and looked knackered against Real Madrid, although I expect him to come on. Werner has also been playing a lot recently. So Hakim Ziyech in the right attacking position. And Olivier Giroud up front. Again, he hasn't really played much, and it gives Werner and Havertz a rest. Havertz looked knackered, as I said, against Real Madrid, and Timo Werner, he's been playing a lot recently. So I wouldn't be surprised if Timo Werner or Kai Havertz plays, but it's really hard to predict it because he hinted at some rotation, but we don't know where they're going to be some rotation. And yeah, he does it based on the opposition. So for me, Olivier Giroud for the link-up play, the hold-up play, using his aerial presence, his physicality. So Olivier Giroud goes in a striking position for me. And that's what I believe is going to be the predicted line. Now, in terms of score prediction, it's going to be tough, yeah, because I want to quickly mention this. Now, we already beat Man City in the FA Cup semi-final. We've got them tomorrow evening. And then, of course, we've got them in the Champions League final. So that means we would have played them 3 times since Thomas Tuchel's arrived here. Do you realistically see Thomas Tuchel beating Pep Guardiola 3 times in a row? We've already beaten them once. Now, part of me thinks, right, I would never ever want Chelsea to lose, but part of me thinks if we sacrifice tomorrow's game and not win on purpose, obviously get a draw, avoid defeat because we need to avoid defeat, potentially get a draw, don't beat them, because if we beat them tomorrow, do you really think we can beat them 3 times in a row? I don't know. Possibly, but it's going to be very difficult. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm just saying, as I said, a draw minimum, because we need to ensure that we secure top 4, and a draw would be a good result. For me, score prediction, I'm going for a 0-0. I think this game's got a 0-0 written all over it, which will be a good result for Chelsea. What do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. Leave me your man of the match in the comment section. Not man of the match, sorry, score prediction in the comment section below. And I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.